It's so good to see you.
Oh, Lady Mai's in the building.
I know.
Yo, I have to tell you about Lady Myesha. Gave a little bit about our journey, and I just have seen you just do so many transformational things. Lady Mai, I even went back into the archives and got the
Come
High School
on.
Lipstick book. Listen, Lady Myesha is an author, a gospel singer, just everything, a mother, a pastor, I mean, a nurse. You have always been such an incredible force. And we've just always been in each other's lives for these last 10 years. And just, I was talking to my producer, David, and I was like, we had a few people to close us out. And I was like, nah, it has to be Lady Mai. She's going to give the people what we really need during this time.
Wow.
And so I just, our journey together, I'm thinking about when we had the retreat, the Unbreakable. She puts together powerful retreats and movements for women. And so welcome to the show. We are ready for you. I'm ready for you. How are you?
I am doing good. I'm having Black girl problems with the new growth, but I'm good.
Yes.
I'm healthy. My spirit is intact. I feel like I have my focus. And it's the end of the year. Time means a lot to me. So I like to end things and I like to start things. And how I end the thing is almost as important as how I'm going to start the next year or start the next thing. So it's a great time. It's a hard time, but it's still full of opportunity. Like it's the 19th.
Yep.
So
The
you
19th,
kind of
here
set
we
us
are.
up. You set us up.
Tell me about your year, Lady Mai. Tell me about your year. Like, what was the biggest lesson that you have learned in this year?
Wow. This year has been crazy. We started off, we were in a multi-million-dollar building project and we purchased a venue downtown Long Beach. And we were so excited to open and start to rent the space and do everything. And of course, COVID happened a month before we opened. So that was the first kind of disappointment. I had a father who had a stroke. In the summer. My sister has seizures and she started having really bad seizures and she was hospitalized in ICU twice this year. I had my sister-in-law die of brain cancer. My husband's aunt died 3 weeks later and she's in her 60s. And that was totally unexpected. My 9-year-old got diagnosed with PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. So polycystic ovarian syndrome. And so beyond that, I mean, there were a lot of wins. I lost 50 pounds in the first 5 months, 5.5, 6 months, which was incredible. I started this year. I knew exactly what I was going for. Do not sleep. Everything that happened that wasn't so great really paled in comparison to the things that I really wanted to happen that actually happened. So I was both celebrating and also sad at the same time. I was rejoicing and confident and yet feeling very weak and empty and deflated. There was this paradox between the goodness and the bad of life and having to sit with them both and be like, I'm alive. I'm healthy. I don't have COVID. My family, we're still alive. So I had to like always practice gratitude with honesty and say, life sucks because this is scary. I don't know what's going to happen. This has reworked our entire life. These different challenges, some are still ongoing. We still have to sort through them. But nonetheless, I'm ending 2019 and looking back saying, wow, I'm still here. And if I'm still alive, that means there's opportunity. There's still room to make the changes. It's still room to figure it out. And that's all I need.
Oh, y'all. I mean, I think just hearing that rundown, Lady Mai, I love that you said that you were celebrating and still sad at the same time. Because I think people only see, I was like, oh my Lord, this whole week your devotional, in the mornings we're talking about how we show and what we show to Instagram. And even that post you put, like, you know, I'm posting a picture of me smiling, but this and this is happening with me. And I just feel like, how do we as Black women continue to show up for ourselves and show up for our families, even if we're hurting, even if we have some stuff going on, but we're still showing up? Do you show up and say, give you the rundown and then smile? How do we navigate that? Do we sit in the sadness and the darkness?
I think honesty is the most important tool we have that we rarely utilize. Yeah. People ask us how we're doing. We say, I'm fine, because part of us actually feels fine.
Yeah.
But the moment we go, I'm not fine, it gives people space to now care for us, to see us weak, to see us in our vulnerability. They're going to see us in our strength, right? Because they always have. Yeah. And tomorrow we're going to be back on our A game and they'll see us. So we have to trust the process and trust ourselves enough to know that we have permission to live in both realities. We don't always exercise that. We give people a pass. We say, I'm good, which means my needs don't have to be met by you.
Yeah.
Immediately when we come in strong, we cut off space for other people to care for us. So as a Black woman, as a strong woman, no matter what race you are, having permission to show up as your authentic self and be honest, you get to decide. You are empowered to share when you want to share. Some of us don't feel that, though. We think, I only have to be strong because I want to teach my daughter that we have to take everything life throws our way and we have to move forward. But you also need to teach her that tears are a gift, that you're not always going to have a perfect life. Things are not going to go your way. And when they don't, you can cry, you can talk to your friends, you can come and talk to me, that you can see in me vulnerability, so you can be vulnerable as well. That's very important. It is critical. So number one is honesty with yourself about how you feel before you ever go out into the world. Today doesn't feel like a good day, or wow, that hurt. That in and of itself sets you up to be vulnerable when you need to, or if you choose to. It may be the person at the Trader Joe's line, and she may be talking on the phone with somebody about something you are going through. And you may choose at that moment to say, you know what? I know exactly how you feel.
Yeah.
And that may be your moment where you don't lose anything with your friend circle or with your grandma or whoever you talk to. You may need to do it with a perfect stranger.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
And that's always been a part of your platform and your ministry, Lady Mai. I feel like, you know, so many women, especially first ladies of the church, like, you know what I mean? You have a certain level of like what you have to show and how you have to stand up and hold everyone else up. But I always have loved your transparency. And I think it took a while for you to really get here too.
Right.
And it's just like, that's so powerful. That's why I created this show. I wanted a place where we could all get on somewhere. I preferably wanted it to be in a production studio of OWN or NBC or something, you know, right? Where we could get together and we could say, don't judge me by my shoes. Don't judge me by my lipstick I have right now. Let me tell you that I cried all day, every day this week. Let me tell you that I'm broken getting on this live right now. And we just don't have the vulnerable spaces to do that.
Yeah. We teach people how to treat us every day. When you answer on the first ring, when you show up and you have it all together, when you're fabulous 24/7, you teach people that this is how I operate. And so they respond to how the tone we set.
Yeah.
So as a pastor's wife, people come in with expectations. They come in with their ideas about how I should be. And early on, that was really suffocating. It's a very, very, it's one of the craziest roles I think any woman can play. I honestly do. You have to be a certain kind of person to be a pastor's wife. You have to like loneliness. You have to be comfortable in isolation.
Oh.
You have to be willing to be overlooked, to be positioned and promoted based on perception alone. People give a lot of grace and love and they don't even know you. So you have to be willing to feel like, wow, I'm on this pedestal, but maybe it's not even because of who I am. That is a weird combination. When you get on stage and receive the Grammy, you know you worked hard in music to earn your seat and your place. As a pastor's wife, a woman can wrestle with her worth because she might feel like, well, what did I do for these people to love me? What do the value added is different. And so I start to feel it early on. And then as I grew, I was like, listen, I do not want to be defined by a role I play. I happen to be married to a pastor. God happens to love me and use me to make a difference in the life of people. And that's what I hold on to, not the position. The church can be gone tomorrow. It can burn down tonight. And if everything was built in that role, then I wouldn't even know who I was. So I started saying, no, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I don't like y'all today. I don't want to do that. I don't want to wave and smile. I'm not happy. And people, it was uncomfortable because people were like, you ignored me. And I'm like, no, I'm just being honest that if we were at the store, you would have got a side eye, sis.
Yeah.
It is so important to give yourself permission to feel what you feel. Okay? There's room and space for you to not be perfect. But then on top of that, to be okay with the consequences of that. That by me choosing to be this way, I'm going to offend somebody. They may not like me. And you have to be comfortable with that too. You can't have them both. You can't live in your truth and show up as yourself and everybody love you. So you count the cost for both. What am I going to lose by being my authentic self? And am I okay with that price?
And it hurts.
It hurts.
It hurts. I think when you said, you started off with loneliness, Lady Mai. This year for me, this has been a lonely year. And I think about that in a sense of like, we can fill it up. So you could be lonely in a space full of people. You could feel lonely in your church full of 5,000 people. And still have that loneliness feel for you. How did you overcome that? What helped you to because there's some women on this call right now who maybe they're not a pastor's wife and they have all that, but they still may feel loneliness in their circle. They still may feel loneliness in their situation of this 2020. Yeah. Because let me tell you, 2020.
Yeah, I think that's a really good question and observation about loneliness. What I would be inclined to wonder is what's going on inside of you, and if it's loneliness or if it's what this other person represents in your life. Some of us, for me as a person who felt lonely, I'm an introvert, so I'm wired to not have connection. When I'm around people, it is more draining for me. So being alone refreshes me. So for me, loneliness had to do with how understood and how known am I? How known am I seen in the depth of my being? When I walk out of this house, is somebody checking for me and saying, are you really okay? Like, how can I pray for you? How can I be with you? And seeing parts of me that are beneath the surface. So it was more of, where do I go with my bad? Where do I go with my struggles? I feel alone. I have a husband. I have children. I have all kinds of people around me. But there's parts of my soul that I am keeping to myself, and that feels lonely. There's no one to understand me in my innermost places. Sometimes there's a physical kind of loneliness where if I had a body, if I had a man, if I had a woman here, they will complete me, and I don't have to deal with the stuff going on inside of me. So now the push is, let's fill the space, let's fill this void by parties, by people, so we don't have to deal with what's really going on. So I would say explore the loneliness piece to see, do I feel rejection? That nobody wants me? Am I feeling like I'm behind because I'm now at this age and I'm not married? I don't have children. I don't have the dream that I wanted. Am I disappointed about how my life has turned out? Do I feel inadequate because I don't have people? I don't have friends. I don't have boyfriends. So all of that can still look like I'm lonely. But it means more. And you know how to go after it and kind of solve it when you can identify it a little bit more clearly. So you can ask yourself the question, what am I really feeling? Dang, I just want to go to the movies. I just want to sit and talk with somebody. I want to have sex, whatever it is. I just want somebody to care about me.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the loss of the people in your life that have always seen you. And their absence reveals that who is going to take care of my insides? Who's going to take the inside? Does that make sense?
Girl, I'm sitting here, I'm taking it all in, because it's crazy how, you know, I've had so many different women on this show, and I love somebody just said loneliness wears so many different faces, identify it. And it's this piece of like every woman who's came in on this pandemic has said there's been a certain part of you that had to sit and be still this year. You had to sit, no matter what you were doing, no matter where you are, no matter who you were, everybody had to sit and be still. And what did you do in that stillness? What did you like find out about yourself? What did you discover? And some of those ugly truths, man, they are so hard to face, Lady Mai. They're so hard to deal, because you have to face it and you have to look at them right in their eyes, because we want to be better. I firmly believe that every woman who has watched the replay of The Time Is Now, who has tapped in, who has seen it, they are on this pursuit of happiness and they want to be better.
Yep. And guess what? If you don't want to sit with it now, that'll be the thing that will really hurt you in the future. The things we fail to confront today, they gain interest. They don't go anywhere. They sit there and they get bigger and they occupy more space. And then now we walk into the relationship we've been wanting, and those little creepy things come right up. We thought they were gone. We thought, once I get the money, once I get this, once I get the job, once I get the show, that now I'll be better and now I'll be happy. And we forget, oh, in that pandemic, when grandma, when mama, when they left, I did not deal. And those same feelings, they start creeping back up. But now it's more costly, because you got more to lose. You got more reasons to hide. You have more people following you. You have more authority in your role, in your work. Yeah. Deal with it while you get the chance. Roll your sleeves up, put your big girl panties on, and go to work. It will safeguard you for the next 5 decades. Do it. Cry it out. Sit with it. Whatever you need to do, have the tough conversations, but the time is now.
Don't talk right to me, Miss Lady Myesha, on my show.
The time is now.
The time is now, everybody. And that is it. But it's hard. It's hard. And I feel like, especially for me, and I know so many of my friends and just women, Lady Mai, you know us. We are like trying to make it for our families. We are maybe first generation who went to college in our lives and first getting this and getting this and getting this. And it's like, I personally feel that every time I get like some cruise control and I get some like, oh yes, something hits me in the jugular every single time.
Yes. That's life. Why? That's life. It always tempers us. It always, like, we grow at the same, like we grow at the pace that we are willing to confront and deal with our stuff. And people say this all the time, that on one day you're celebrating, like, I think it was Rick Warren who said that the day he became a bestseller next to the Bible all time is the day he found out his wife had cancer. Like, there's this marriage often, and it's nothing to be sad about or afraid of.
Yeah.
But I do think that illusion that we get to a point in life where we just cruise, I think that is not true. I think there's always a fight and a battle, but you have grown and matured in your insides, that you see what it is, you recognize it, and you know how to manage it.
Yeah.
So if you start to feel that, that may be a gift from God. That may be an invitation for you to see that, wow, I'm trusted with more sadness and I'm trusted with more happiness at the same time.
That's deep. Last couple weeks ago, we had the Budgetnista on, and she was talking about just how her story was incredible and powerful. If you guys haven't watched it, go back and watch the replay. And she had lost everything. And then 10 years later, she's worth like $10 million. But she was saying that billionaires face challenge. When they see a problem, they get excited over the challenge. They like, cool, it's a challenge, let me handle it. But I think we say that when we already are at a certain place of comfort. It's
Right.
hard to like face a challenge when you broken. It's hard to face a challenge when you're trying to make a way out of no way and you're just trying to figure it out. And it's like, I heard her and I believed it, but it's so funny when I got confronted with it. When it was like, okay, here's a kick. Here's some heartbreak. You gonna show up? You gonna get up? You gonna face it as a challenge?
Exactly. And it keeps happening. It doesn't matter what you have. It really doesn't even matter what level you're on. I think it's like, what are you afraid of?
Yeah.
Because there's something that's driving and pushing and saying, you have to. But you can't do that broken. And if you do it broken the whole way, and then your shit falls apart. And you don't have what it takes. That your drive and your passion will get you there, but your character is going to keep you there. Yeah. And if you want to have a sustainable life, the bad comes with the good. And I haven't gone really, honestly, you know what? I'm going to rephrase that. I've listened to a talk that talks about being in a beautiful state. Yeah. And keeping yourself in a beautiful state. That suffering has to do with our mind. It's not real. It's not physical pain when you get stabbed or cut or hurt. But suffering is what you rehearse in your brain. And in this talk, we're talking about us having this powerful imagination and also a powerful ability to remember. And either we rehearse the things of the past or we imagine all the heartbreak that can come in the future. Either of those keeps us stagnant. So I've been really practicing this year the power of living and staying in a beautiful state, being mindful of what I have control over and deciding, okay, consciously, like this is not going to affect me. I get to decide. Yeah. I get to decide what is heartbreaking. I get to decide that. Now I choose to love passionately and that person leaves me. That's going to break my heart. But that was my choice to love this person. Yeah. So it still empowers me because I decided to put myself at risk of being hurt. Now, there's so many things that can happen in life that we don't have control over. You can get COVID tomorrow and be in an ICU somewhere. Somebody you love can die. You can get a cancer. You can lose everything you've worked for. You can get a bad reputation or somebody say something about you. Anything you can imagine in this life that could be bad. I challenge you to sit with it right now while you have the power. Come on. Go to your worst fear. Go to the worst possible thing that could happen. Sit in it. Read the newspaper headlines. See everybody talking about you. See everybody. See losing everything. See yourself living in that car. And decide that that does not change who I am. You didn't get to where you are by luck. You didn't get to where you are by chance. This was a part of a big plan that God had in mind for you. That means there is really nothing you can do to stop it. That even if you lost it all, you will get it all back. Yeah. You have the blueprint. It's you that makes the difference. So I started to sit with all my worst fears, everything that could possibly go wrong. And I said, I'm going to live in a beautiful state. That no matter what happens, I'm going to enjoy the ride. Even if it's heartbreak, even if you're going to take me, you're going to take everybody I love. I'm going to go on that ride. And I'm going to come out okay. Because it's not the things. It's not the people. It's the life experiences we are gifted with from God. And something has to anchor us. Something has to center us beyond reaching for straws. Just, I'm going to get this and I'm going to get that. And then now this perfect cake is going to be built. No, if I lose it all, I'm still going to be okay. So whether there's 1 million or 10 million or $1, I am going to be good. Because I've chosen that I'm going to live in a beautiful state no matter what happens. Yeah. When I found out my dad had a stroke and all that stuff that was breaking out, it was pressing on this idea. And I felt like fear. I felt panic. I felt worry. I was just washing dishes and just start crying. Like, just like utterly like, this hurts so bad. And I started going through what hurts about it. I was surprised. I don't like to be surprised. I didn't prepare because it wasn't expected. I had a certain relationship that was based on this person being functional and doing everything for everybody. Now that has to change. I don't like change. So I start going through all of the things.
Unlayering, unraveling it.
And going, okay, so what's left? I'm alive. He's alive. Let's live in a beautiful state together. Let's make the most of this.
Mm.
However we got to do it.
Mm.
Be empowered to take ownership of the life you have, to count the cost of the losses, to be honest in the process about how you feel. You're not an imposter. You didn't get here by luck or by chance. You were destined to be here. And in this life, there are going to be highs and lows. You're going to love hard and you're going to lose the people you love. You're going to give your all and it's not going to work. You're going to get the big break and the show's going to get canceled. It's just, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But we can make the determination that no matter what happens,
Mm.
I'm going to be okay. Not in my mind, not just willpower, but I'm going to cultivate that inside.
Yeah.
And it absolutely works.
Woo! Y'all, listen. And I think it works, but God will challenge it. God will say, you believe this? Here's this. And then you get yourself up from that. And you're like, I remember I seen on Instagram, your dad came home. And it was like, okay, you get some steady ground, then your sister-in-law. It's like God is, and I don't know, because sometimes people get torn with that sometimes. Is it God or is it just the badness in the world or whatever it is, this stuff that happens? But I'm realizing, I think even with the caption of the show, when all the chips fall, bet on God. And I'm just like, what is he trying to continually show me? What does he want me to learn? What does he want me? Because I feel like, okay, I got that lesson, God. Thank you. Check. I have this thing, and I'll be transparent where, I feel like I pour into a lot of people. When used to me, when I come to church, I'm like, hey, I got to say hi to everybody. And I pour into people, and I want to make sure I take care. And, sometimes I don't take care of the people who need me the most because I'm running, and it kills me. I don't know how to get the handle on it, but I got to face that. I got to face it, and I got to sit in it. Because even if there's that one person who needed my hello that didn't get it, that I didn't see, that I didn't know I didn't see. The one person, or the one thing of like, you did everything else, but you still forgot to do this one thing, or you still didn't make time for this one thing. And I feel like we're all just running a race against ourselves because we just want to.
See, so what I heard was I'm not enough, that I need to be perfect, that there's always something I'm not doing right, that no matter how hard I work, I can't be 100%. And that will always keep you on the treadmill of life, running, pleasing. What would it look like to say, I'm going after my dreams. I'm going to be a C mom.
Yep.
I'm going to suck at being a daughter for the next year because I've chosen to prioritize this thing that matters to me.
Yeah.
And that means I can't be good at everything. So to be a recovering perfectionist, to not be perfect is hard. It means you got to fail, and you got to be okay with failing.
Yeah.
Until you see that what you thought was failure is really not failure. Everybody loves you the same. Everybody accepts you. But in the mind, it's like, but how do I get off of this treadmill? How do I stop? How can I be comfortable with living my life, being fabulous and great, and missing people? Coming up short. I blew through a decade. I didn't even remember the birth of my children because I was so focused on my goals. You understand me? My whole 20s was a blur. Everything that I had accomplished, everything that I did, it didn't even matter because I was on to the next thing, on to the next thing. Yeah. Can't even pull out photo books, okay? Of all the wonderful memories. And, oh, you remember when I was, girl, I don't remember nothing because I was about my life. I was out there trying to get it and move it forward. And I woke up at 30 and was confronted with the truth that you have not been here. You've been a robot. You've been very productive. You've accomplished a lot, but it didn't mean anything. And you know what I did? I cried and wept for days. I apologized to everybody in my family that I didn't even see you. I love you, but I was so preoccupied with what I wanted to do that I did not prioritize you. And I begged God to give me a second chance to recalibrate what means most. and start to do the work of starting all over. So I fell in love with my kids. They were probably like, Wayne is 15, so he was probably 10 years old. And I came to him and say, son, I'm very sorry. How have I failed you as a mother? Where did I come short? And I let him tell me, and I say, I promise for the next 10, I will be here. Mind, body, and soul. Not sitting there at the game on the phone scrolling. Okay?
Because you know.
It's like, baby, go over there. You'll be good. Like, go and get a hot dog, okay? Like, you'll live. Like, I'm about, let's go and get this. But as a human being, we need the space as women sometimes to do what we're passionate about. Nobody talks about that. It's like, get married, have a family, and just do the best you can.
Yeah.
But there are some internal driven kind of passion projects that we also need room for. Nobody said that. So in my 20s, I was too busy trying to check all this stuff off my list that I wasn't honest. Now I go, look, I want my own room. I want everything pink. This is what I need to be a good mother to you for my soul and for my sake.
Yeah.
This is what I need to be a good wife. And I can recalibrate it.
Yeah.
But far too often, we go on and we try to do everything well, and we fail ourselves.
And you're waking up in that room, picking up the pieces. But I love that you said that it's not too late and you got a second chance. Man, the second chances are everything, and you got to get it right.
The time is now.
Girl.
You get to decide. And if you're in between places, that's okay too.
Yeah.
I don't have the answer. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going for it.
Yeah.
And trust yourself. Trust the God that you serve, that he's going to work it all for your good.
Yeah. Come on.
If your child has to be independent because mom is out there living her best life, guess what? That's going to be a blessing to her in the future. She knows how to take care of herself. She knows how to go all the way to college. Girl, because you raised her to be like, you got it?
You got it.
I'm about to get in the Zoom. Can you go and cook your food, okay?
Yeah.
I know you're 7.
Listen.
But go in there.
Because Kylie is the boss. Kylie Watts is a boss ready for the boardroom, and it's no games. And I love that because, Lady Ma, I think mothers on this call, we got to give ourselves some grace. Oh my, I remember being a mom at the first beginning, mommy. Oh, I wanted to do it right. You remember I used to bring little Kylie and it's like, there's no right. We're all just trying, especially this year. If you are up watching this call and you're not in sweats today, or you in just you made it. And I just think we have to just start unlayering and just rewarding ourselves or telling ourselves that, but also being still with our truths.
Yep. It's critical.
Sometimes I just want to see all the good. You know, I want to see all the good in me, and I don't want to see all the bad sometimes. And I that's one of my lessons, I think, this year too, is that I'm a words of affirmation person. I love to hear that you love me. I love to hear it. I hearing it is like, and that is, you know, that is my thing. And
so when was the last time you heard affirmation?
You know, actually before this call, you know, I work with Tina's Angels, and we had a call before this, and God knew it. God knew we had a call before this, and I hopped on, and they were doing like an appreciation of us, and I got some powerful words that got me on this call right now with the time is now. But I think it's just a moment of just like stopping and telling somebody that you love, right? Like, after you hang up this call today, y'all text 3 people that you love them, that you need them, that you believe in them, that they're important to you. But then I live in words, and I've learned that other people have other ways that they need the love. So I'm giving you all my words, but you may need me to show up for you. Right. You may need me to just come and help you put something together. And you got to tap into people who you love to get their love language, so you can know how you can show up for them.
Right.
Because it's real. All right. We done went deep. But go ahead. What you about to say?
I just think the bad of life is an invitation. And it's leading you somewhere. Yeah. But you got to be willing to go. If you find your center, no matter how high it is or how low it is, you stay locked in. Find your center. Bad news, good news. You good.
Yeah. And that's hard. And I think that you'll get tested on it. Because we had a 3 and 30 last week, and we're talking about One Take Stace came on, and she was talking about like mind, body, and spirit. And as humans, we're always in the human beings and the human beings. But it's like not the doings. We're always just go, 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 do. But we have to be. We have to be. And I just, I've learned so many lessons, Lady Mai, this year, this show. Mama Tina came and told us, Miss Tina and those Lawson came and said, feel it, move on, get up, keep going. Like, everyone has just poured so much into women. And I just feel like we got to have a space where we can just come and confront our truths together.
Right. And sit in it.
Yeah.
Like, sit in it for a second without the next plan, what the next step will be. Just right now, here today.
Yeah.
This feels what? And that's perfectly okay. And it's so good that you have desired that you want to create the space for people, because imagine what you need times 20 as a successful person.
Yeah.
You complicate that by people who don't have much, who don't have a purpose, who aren't living out their dreams, who don't have access to people living out their dreams and have to feel the feelings. I get people all the time say, I hear what you're saying, but I just keep getting knocked down. Like, my whole life I've been getting knocked down. And sometimes I look at them and I go, I don't have an answer for that. I have no idea why we get these, we're going up the mountain and it feels great and I'm killing it. And then like,
yeah.
But those times, you never forget them. The bad times, you will never forget them in your life, because you will hold on to them. When life feels perfect, you remember heartbreak. It won't last always. You get stronger and stronger. You build up those internal muscles. And before you know it, drama happens and you're like, that's cool.
Yeah.
Trust the process. Trust yourself. Trust God, that there is somebody bigger than you working on your behalf, even in moments where you don't understand it. I came alive the day I realized life was not going to be perfect.
It's not.
It's not. And in fact, it doesn't have to be. My sister just called me. She's like, you really need to go by and see Grandpa. Like, you really need to go by there. And I'm thinking, every day I'm preparing for somebody to die. They will die. We just don't know when. Every day that we get older, we are anticipating grief. The people we love, they must leave us. Everybody in this world, like how I love you, I care about you, you are going to leave me one day. How do I sit with that? How do I press in and love you and be all in, knowing that tomorrow one of us may not be here? But that is what is happening every single day. And I told her, I said, I'm going to go by and see him. And that's hurtful to think about it. But I've known since I was young that I would have to say goodbye to people that I love. It's a part of life.
And saying goodbye is just so tough, isn't it? It just, it gets you. It really does. My grandfather passed away a couple months ago, and although he lived such a beautiful life, he was 96, and we were so grateful. It still leaves a hole. It still leaves a hole. My dad, his anniversary of his passing, my dad passed away 11 years. It's gonna be on Monday, December 21st, and it's that's just a beautiful perspective. Because if we shift our perspectives, and you said, I know if I love you, I'm gonna have to say goodbye to you one day.
Have to. It's mandatory. The beautiful daughter, the beautiful relationship, the beautiful business, nobody stays on top forever. So you grieve it. And most of us just don't like to be surprised. We want to be prepared. We have in our mind how it's supposed to go. We're not ready yet. And that is what upsets us the most.
Yeah.
But every day we wake up and we get older, somebody else is moving on. And we have to say, we have to hug it and go, this was great, but I got to let you go now. And when you dealt with a lot of loss like you have, where at your age, you had to say goodbye to a lot. relationships, parents, grandparents.
You know my whole truth.
You've been trusted with a lot of loss. I would want to know, God, what invitation do you have to me in this? What is it about me that I have had to say goodbye to a lot of things in my life?
Y'all, look at Lady Molly. Girl, he must have this talk show waiting for me, Lady Myesha. He has this. He has all this waiting for me.
That's a major key alert. Because there's a pattern. There's a pattern. So that's teaching you when these moments come, what about them makes it hard? How are all these different things woven together? Yeah. And what are they trying to produce in you? Yeah. So that you can be helpful to somebody else. Yeah.
And that's why I started this, right? I started this. Gosh, it has been a journey. 25 weeks later, Lady Myesha, and I just have seen where the conversation has grew, and we've touched so many lives. I have so many women in my DMs and comments, and when I see them on the street who have said, even to London, I was on the radio in London last week, and just talking about how the show has inspired them. And I think that that's how we've lived our life. We live our life. We want to be motivational. We want to be, empower women. And you are so, so incredible at that. Every chance you get, you telling somebody, go sis, I see you, do it. And we need that because as we're doing it, I'm trying to be my authentic self with everybody. I'm trying to on a caption, give you the real, yes, I know it's glam and it's cute, but it's real. And I just hope that this has been empowering to people, and I want to continue to do it. And that's why I wanted you on today. I knew you was going to just tap in and give us that real.
I've never been surprised at everything you have become. You have said it. You have owned it from the day I met you. You were like, I'm Oprah. Hi, everybody. And we were all okay, in every room you light up. And I think it's beautiful for you to offer people space in your heart to say, you know what? I make a lot of people happy. I change a lot of environments, but I hurt too. It's so beautiful because people see how you light up a room. They see you. You don't have to work hard at that. But this is a gift to somebody else to say, but I also want you to see this, that it takes a lot of work for me to show up some days and be fabulous. Yeah. And it's okay, you're a human being.
Yeah. And that's what we got to do, Lady Maya. We got to touch every little girl, every woman, every person. And we got to continue this on because this work is so necessary and it's so important. So a part of the show, I have sentence starters. We're gonna snatch us back a little bit. And I'm going to give you a sentence starter and I want you to complete the sentence, okay?
Yeah.
The holidays remind me to
shop.
Love it. What I learned in 2020 was
I'm the most important part of my life. If I'm no good, nobody is good. I must be good. And I have space. I occupy space in this universe that's important.
The new year will bring
fulfillment.
Yeah.
Fulfillment on a deep level.
What do you have exciting coming up for 2021, Lady Mai? What's new? What's going? What you working on? We're supposed to be having our retreat, the big movement. It was supposed to be in October.
I'm looking forward to doing all that's in my heart.
Yeah.
Uninhibited and unencumbered by yesterday's baggage.
Yeah.
I see nothing but green lights ahead. And I don't fully know exactly what each step might look like, but I don't have to. I've been working on me. Yeah. So as long as I show up, I'm good because I know all the things I can pull on to make it happen. Yeah. So 2021 will be about just walking freely into the future, unencumbered. I've unpacked my bags. I've gone light. I've been practicing elimination like crazy. I didn't realize that was important, but you cannot get anything new without giving up something. And I have been cleaning out house, cleaning out responsibilities cleaning out unnecessary baggage of things that I may have done in the past that don't serve me in the next decade, getting rid of good things, getting rid of great things, saying goodbye to my first loves, and going, like singing. We have a great team, and I have already owned that if I don't sing again, I'm okay.
Lady Mai.
Yep. Yeah. Because
that's your passion. That's your heart.
It is. So that's why I'll do it for fun. I'll do it for the joy of it. But that's it. Because as long as I'm divided in my purpose and I'm always carrying all these ideas, like if you want to be a great talk show host, you may not be the greatest educator. It's a cost. And sometimes you have to choose. And I've always been a two-sport athlete trying to do everything well. And now I say I'm going to pick one thing and I'm going to go hard in the paint. And that means I have to let go of stuff before I even need to. There's no fire. I put everything in place for everybody else. And I realize as long as I'm doing all the singing, somebody else is not fulfilling their God-given purpose. So I need to make room for other people to be used in the ways that they need to be used. As long as I'm in the seat, nobody else can get what they need. That was torturing me. And I said, no, I'm cutting it. So I've been cutting everywhere and not adding more.
Because I'll cut and I'll go say, oh, I'll start this business. I'll take this off and I'll do this. People say, are you doing events? I'm like, well, I could. No, that's it. No. Go hard in the paint with one thing.
At this age, I don't have a lot of time. Yeah. And I'm on a 10-year plan, honey. I don't need it quick, fast, in a hurry. I'm working a plan. Like in 10 years, I'll be in my sweet spot if I start today. So I read 2-3 books a week. I'll sit in the bathtub and read a 150-page book. I'm learning and growing for the sake of growth. Nothing in front of me dictating anything. No deadlines, no high pressure sell, but working on becoming and allowing God and his universe to put the right things in the right spots at the right time. And I will know, and I will be ready when it comes. So I'm not going to sit back and twiddle my thumbs and get lucky. But elimination is a big part of walking into what I really want in life, cutting away the things that don't serve me, even if they're really, really good. I said, if I could read a book the same amount of time I can learn a new song to sing that one Sunday that everybody's going to go, wow, that was beautiful. And they're going to forget. Come on.
You like, I'm going to read that book.
That's a lot of investment of time that I will never get back.
Yeah. And the time is now. The time is now. Come on. Now, on our show, Lady Mai, I always ask my guests, what would you go back and tell your 7th grade self? It's an ode to me being an educator in the work I do with Miss Tina, with our mentoring. What would you go back and tell 7th grade little Myesha Chaney?
I would say, first, you're not ugly, and you are enough. That seventh grade girl thought she had to be perfect and do everything right to receive love, and that was not true. I would want her to be around more truth tellers so she didn't have to believe all the lies that she believed about herself.
Oh, truth tellers.
Somebody to say that's not true. That's a lie. You are enough. Right where you are, what you have, and reinforce. So my lies grew because there wasn't a lot of people to contradict them. Yeah. So when I said I don't look pretty, the guys weren't coming saying, oh, baby, you look good. Like, nobody said anything.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I guess what I think about me is right. You are enough.
Y'all, Lady Myesha, what a message. What a message. I needed you. I needed you today. I need you in my life. Whenever we get together, it's always magic. And I love your transparency. I love the way you are always open to tell the truth and root for everybody. And you're in such a huge position. Eyes are always on you. And I love that you have shaken up that box and said it looks different to look at me. And so I see you all the time. Tomorrow, tell people about the toy drive and the drive tomorrow, please.
Yes, we have so many good things. Houseware, there's furniture, there's toys for the kids at 350 Pine at 1 o'clock. This is just the first of many. But if you need something, even if you don't need anything, like we had golf clubs. People often think the people that have jobs or money don't need anything, but they're the people who never get gifts.
Yeah.
So I'm like, just come and be blessed. Like,
Yeah.
on the strength, take a sectional. Here's some furniture just because
Yeah.
you exist. And
Yeah.
that was really important. We always go with the soup kitchens or the people that may be homeless and like
Yeah.
the everyday working people that are prioritizing their kids over the stuff for themselves don't get anything. So I'm like, yes, this is for people who want to be loved and want to be blessed.
And we thank
Tomorrow,
you for
1
it.
o'clock.
We thank you for it. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for being in my corner. Thank you for this message. I hope that y'all took so much from it. You know you my boo. Always, always.
Yes.
Through ups and downs and in betweens. I'm
You
not gonna
and
call
your
you.
twin sister.
Listen, Amanda, for sure. Okay. We gonna show up as a pair all the time wherever we go. So I love you.
Love you. Have a good day. See you guys. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much, you guys. Wow. So I wanted us to just end with a message. And I thought, like, oftentimes let's go to the source. I think we have to go into the source. But I cannot end this last episode of 2020 without thanking all of you who have just rocked with me and just been here and who have poured into me and poured into the show, tuning in with me every Saturday at 1. It has been so incredibly powerful. This has truly gotten me through 2020. I think, like, I'm a person who's like a social person, and I love women, and I love this passion, and I love having a platform and talking to people. And so tuning in with you guys at 1 o'clock to get this message that the time is now to do all that you can do and be all that you can be has been so important. And we're going to finish these days out and look forward to positivity and fulfillment. Like Lady Myesha said, in our new year, we have some incredible things coming with you with the time is now for you guys. I'm not sure if it's going to still be the same platform or new things, but please stay tuned. Please continue to support. I need this. We need this. And I have to thank David. David is watching right now, you guys, and he is somebody who just believed in me and believed in what I had to offer and say to the world. And so he got behind me, he got behind this, and just built so much of the content and just helped me to become a better talk show host and a woman on this platform, and told me like what Ellen used to do and what this person used to do and all of this. And so David, I just I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you so much for just believing in me and seeing it and saying, like, we're going to make some magic. And so I thank you. I have to thank my mom who's been in here with me. And I don't want this to get into a long thank yous, but I just want to thank, my mom who has been just such a rock for me and just supporting me and showing up for me the way she does. And, I know you guys, this is like, oh, it's like a little IG show, but I put so much into it and I think about it, the guests that have come on and I, it's having me to move differently and take from other things. But I just wanted to show up for y'all every Saturday and give us a place to connect in such a crazy, terrible year that there was a little bit of light on Saturdays from the time is now. I got to thank my sister. She's still in here. Amanda, for always being by my side, always pouring into me. And I hope I get that second chance to do all the things that I need to do. All the things I need to do. Tia Blanca, thank you. Oh, you guys, she created this booty building platform based off of seeing the time is now. And I hope that you know that you are beautiful and that every woman here knows that whatever is in your heart, whatever desire you have, whether it's just to be a better person, a better mommy, or just to be who you are in that moment, please know that you can do it. We will do it together. The time is now. Thank y'all to every single one of my friends here, my sister Karma. Makeup been on point, even though today I was emotional wreck and I cried it off. Tiffany, thank you so much for doing this makeup. It has been so powerful. Demarius, Karma, everybody, just I love you guys, and spread some holiday cheer. Spread some holiday cheer. Turn on your Christmas tree. My mother-in-law, she really helped to teach me about the spirit of Christmas and the spirit of turning on a Christmas tree and turning on some Jackson 5 or Temptations and putting some cookies in the oven, because we have to show up for ourselves. So I love y'all. The time is now. I'll see you in 2021.